This is Andi Purewal for ID Boxing. I'm joined by promoter Eddie Hearn here in Nottingham. Eddie, it's fight week, huge fight, one which got everybody talking. Before we get into it, how's life been treating you? Did you get up to much yesterday?
Yesterday, no, been chilled, got back from New York, was in Ireland this week, was in Vegas, and just travelled up today and ready for this. I mean, I know I'm promoting the fight, but as a fight fan, I just watched Lara in there, as you did. You know, it sounded like someone was getting shot. Those left hooks were pinging in. Leigh looks in tremendous shape, ready to fight.
It's an unbelievable fight which has got everybody split and divided by opinion. The bookies have Lara a slight favourite. Is that a surprise to you?
Leigh nearly 3-1 in this fight. It's madness. Yeah, but he's mad. You know, I can't believe it. It's a 50-50 fight. People keep saying Lara early, Leigh late, but really, actually, you know, I think Leigh should be the slight favourite in this fight. I feel like he's coming off a great win against Conor. He's the home fighter. He's got 9,000 fans cheering him on. But Lara is very dangerous. I think the thing is, Andy, is how good is Lara? It's kind of still a little bit of uncertainty. We know he's dangerous. We know he can punch, but they see something. Leigh and Ben Davison see something, and let's hope they're right.
People in boxing can be criticised for not taking certain fights in their career. How much credit does Leigh deserve for taking this as a voluntary defence?
An unbelievable amount of credit. You know, at the end of the day, you don't see behind the scenes. I said to Leigh after the Michael Conor fight, have a homecoming in Nottingham. You know, you can almost pick someone from the top 15. I don't really want a gimme fight because, you know, I feel like I get myself up for the big fights. So I said, what about Kiko Martinez? What about Kiko Martinez? He said, what about Lara? I was over the moon because it's a great fight. But he said, we feel like Martinez is just as dangerous as Lara, you know? So, I don't know. We're so lucky that we've got this fight. And we're lucky, this is a voluntary defence. This is normally the one end, isn't it? It's a mandatory. You've got no choice. You've got to take the fight. He chose him.
How does he beat him?
With experience. Don't forget, Leigh a massive puncher. You know, Lara's over there. I don't want to say too that. He got hurt a little bit, you know, in his last fight in San Diego, or the one before. So Leigh will think that he can take him out. I think the longer the fight goes, the more chance that Wood has in the fight. But Lara's going to come out like a train, and he's going to be so dangerous early.
I don't know if you started speaking quietly because of David and Leigh in the ring, or because you got Maurizio stood next to you. But yeah, Josh Warrington, is he in frame if Leigh comes through, or even if Maurizio comes through to face the winner?
For sure. I mean, look, that was a big unification, but obviously he lost. But that fight can feel City Ground, Ellen Road, MEN. But also he'll look at unifications as well. He's a super champ now. And this fight will put him #1 in the division. For me, this fight is for the #1 spot in the division and a massive future ahead.
Dalton Smith versus Billy Allington. Dalton a big favourite heading into this, but talk about what you're hoping from it.
I think it's a good fight. I mean, Allington's English champion. He's deserved his shot at the British title, but unfortunately for him, he's fighting Dalton Smith, who I think is world level. Now, you've got Sam Maxwell on the undercard as a Commonwealth champ. There is a chance those two could get it on if Dalton wins well, but he's a superstar in the making. It's a good fight. Great fight for Gary Cully as well. Great fight for Chev Clark as well. You've got Aaron Bowen making his debut, Junaid Boston, Nico Levias, Kieran Conway. It's a really good card on Saturday night, and it's going to be a great crowd.
Gary Cully, some reports came out of a potential fight with Maxi Hughes. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get Maxi Hughes a big name. We've failed, but that's a big fight for Maxi for a good money. And, you know, that could land on Taylor Serrano, but it's up to Maxi if he wants to take that fight.
The comments around that seem to suggest Maxi wasn't best pleased by it because you previously said that he deserved a bigger fight than what he does.
I think he does, but it's not there. You know, we put him forward for Shakur, we put him forward for Ryan Garcia, we put him forward for all those fights. Unfortunately, he hasn't quite got the name of some of the guys that they're looking for. There is a chance we could do an IBF fight, but the money's not the same, and he knew that. At this point, he last boxed, I think, in October, so it's time for him to fight, and it's a lucrative offer to fight Gary Cully. If he doesn't want to take it, I understand, there's no problem, and I think he does deserve a bigger name, and I love the fact that he deserves, you know, the story, everything deserves that Cinderella night in America, but it's not there. So what are you going to do? Do you want to earn, you know, big money in a fight that you believe you can win, or do you want to wait? And we'll see. We'll talk to him and the team and see if that fight can get made.
Moving away from that, but sticking with the Irish side of things, you met Conor McGregor, as you said earlier this week. How did that go?
It was an incredible experience. I mean, I don't mind saying I was a little bit in awe of him because he's a massive star, and I think he's a great fighter, great promoter, and he's just full of energy. Big Katie Taylor fan. We talked about Croke Park, we talked about how the fight would work, what the route is with Katie, we talked about other stuff as well. It does look likely that Taylor Serrano will land at 3 Arena, and then we'll do a Croke Park fight in September with his support and hopefully the government support as well, but we'll see what happens over the next couple of weeks. And no, it was just a really good day.
Kind of speak to you all about maybe himself moving into boxing promoting?
Not really, no. I mean, he could do whatever he wants. He's got the Forge Irish Stout, which I had a little pint of, top drawer. He's got the Apple Proper 12, top drawer. When you're that size, you can create brands and businesses like he's done. And he's on the hustle all the time, and I respect that. And obviously he's doing this tough UFC, and then he's coming back with a fight, and I look forward to seeing him back in the ring.
He secured Edgar Berlanga, one of the hottest properties that was a free agent recently. Talk to me about how pleased you are and the plan for him.
Very pleased, because Edgar Berlanga is one of the big stars in US boxing, beneath the world champion. He's doing huge gates, he's very exciting, big puncher, huge Puerto Rican fan base as well. Look, we want to make the Canelo fight, but he has to prove his value in that fight. He's got to beat a couple of world-ranked fighters on the way to that, but the first fight with us will be in June. Big signing for Matchroom Boxing and DAZN, and look forward to working with Edgar Berlanga and the team.
Canelo-Ryder in Mexico?
Possibly. I've just finished a call, got another call later today, and we'll see. It's close, but not done yet.
Fury-Usyk delays, Eddie, I know you've spoken about it already, but I just want to get your thoughts on that. We spoke, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, I asked you about it. You said you wouldn't be surprised by the delays, but you would expect it to happen. Just your thoughts on what's come out recently.
With Coogan yesterday, as you know, and I get asked my opinion, and then I get criticised for my opinion, but my opinion is I don't see that fight happening in the UK. I think Tyson Fury will want a bigger split than Usyk, because commercially he deserves one, but at the same time, to make a fight like that, you just accept 50-50. He's not saying much, which I don't know if that means it's close or it's miles away. When we were negotiating, we were on a deadline every day. We had to do the fight on December 3rd because he was fighting Usyk in February. We're in February now. We'll see. None of my business. As a fight fan, I hope I see the fight. But as I said yesterday, if they can't make the fight, we'd agree the AJ fight now for the summer if he beats Jermaine Franklin on April the 1st.
What types of terms would you expect if you was to get that fight for Anthony Joshua?
The same terms we agreed before. We accepted the terms. Nothing's changed. He boxed Derek Chisora, and AJ hasn't boxed him. So it'll be the same terms that we agreed last time, and we'll get that fight done. But if the undisputed fight for less money, but comes with the undisputed is a priority, we respect that as well.
Have you got a time frame in mind when you might reach out to the Warrens at all about that?
I'm due to see him next week, but it's not for that, just a general catch-up. So I'll tell them, and they'll know as well. But I believe Fury will probably want to fight before that. If he fights in April, we just agreed a fight for July, August. We could do that fight now.
What did you make of those reports of Fury-Wilder 4 talks going on in the back?
Wilder's out there talking to people. He's talking to multiple promoters. I wouldn't be surprised if they've spoke. I have no idea.
Have you spoke?
Possibly.
What have you offered him? I had to try, Eddie. Just a couple quick ones to fire through. Paul Fury next week. WBC ranking on the line as well. Just your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, look, we live in a commercial world. I get it. The winner of that fight doesn't deserve to go in the top 15. There's other fighters in the top 15 of other governing bodies that don't deserve to be there, and some that do. It is what it is.
Who comes out on top in it?
I have no idea. I'm quite intrigued to watch because I just think it's going to be a bit of a car crash, but good TV.
It is indeed. And Chris Eubank Jr. activating his rematch clause with Liam Smith. A surprise to you, and does that also maybe put pay to a Conor Benn return fight in the immediate future?
Yeah, I don't know who's got the rematch clause there in terms of how the contract lies, but I don't think he can beat Liam Smith.
He loses a game and Conor Benn, Eubank Jr. out the window?
That fight's always going to be there, but we're still waiting for the WBC, so hopefully that comes sooner rather than later.
Eddie, thank you.
Cheers.